Hello, how are you? Session resumes. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we now proceed with the additional reference of business and may ask the Secretary to read the title of the bill's resolution as first reading as well as communication and committee reports. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Do you hear any objection? Hearing none, it is approved. The Secretary General is directed to read the bills on first reading.
Additional reference of business, bills on first reading. House Bill Number 8102 declaring the Baubawon Island in Plaridel, Misamis Occidental as a tourist destination. Representative T. Diego.
To the Committee on Tourism.
House Bill Number 8103 establishing public rental housing programs for the underprivileged and homeless citizens. Representative Aguinaldo.
To the Committee on Housing and Urban Development.
Resolutions. House Resolution 1385 condemning the senseless killing of attorney Joey Luis Wee and calling on the PNP and the NBI to investigate the said death and to file the appropriate criminal complaints against the responsible persons. Representative Matugas.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1386 urging the immediate implementation of the IRR of the National Integrated Cancer Control Program. Representative Romero.
To the Committee on Health.
House Resolution 1387 calling for an investigation into housing development projects, including subdivisions in perilous areas with regard to its safety from natural disasters. Representative Sevillano.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1388 calling for an investigation into the DepEd's non-compliance with Executive Order Number 879 directing it to use bamboo for at least 25% of the desk and other furniture requirements of public, elementary, and secondary schools. Representative Sevillano.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1389 summoning the DENR to make a full and comprehensive report as to the status and accomplishment of the National Greening Program. Representative Sevillano.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1390 directing the appropriate committee to inquire into the habitability of housing units in several NHA resettlement sites in Rizal following severe flooding due to Typhoon Ulysses. Representative Benitez.
To the Committee on Rules.
Communications. Letter dated October 14, 15, and 16, 2020 of Michael G. Aguinaldo, Chairperson of COA, furnishing the House with copies of calendar year 2019 annual audit reports on certain government agencies.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated October 16, 2020 of Attorney Felix Masalahe Jr., OIC Regional Director, COA, Regional Office Number 13, submitting to the House copies of calendar year 2018-2019 annual audit reports, management letter on certain water districts.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated October 26, 2020, Orlando T. La Vista, State Auditor 4, Office of the Audit Team Leader, COA, furnishing the House with copies of calendar year 2019 annual audit reports on certain state universities and colleges.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letters dated October 14 and 19 November 2020 of Deputy Director Janice G. Aizonzales, Office of the General Counsel and Legal Services, BSP, transmitting to the House duly certified electronic copies of certain BSP issuances.
To the Committee on Banks and Financial Intermediaries.
Emails from the Municipality of San Isidro, Davao del Norte, and the Province of Cebu, informing the House on their reports on fund utilization and status of programs, projects, activities, implementation relative to the Bayanihan Grant to cities and municipalities and to provinces for certain months of 2020.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Annual audit reports of Cebu Normal University and the Cebu Port Authority for the year ended December 31, 2019.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Committee report. Report number 617 of the Committee on Disaster Resilience on House Resolution 535.
To the Committee on Rules.
Report number 618 of the Committee on Higher and Technical Education, Appropriations, and Ways and Means on House Bill number 8111.
To the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, 1 minute suspension.
Session suspended. Session resumed. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, under the calendar of business for today, I move that we consider House Bill 604, 619, 6149, 614, under Committee Report 604, as contained in Committee Report submitted by the Committee on Agriculture and Food. So move, Mr. Speaker.
is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the chairperson of the Committee on Agriculture and Food. Sorry.
The Secretary General is directed to read the measure.
House Bill number 6149, an act declaring the province of Catanduanes as the Abaca capital of the Philippines.
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that the chairperson of the Committee on Agriculture and Food, Honorable Representative Enverga, be recognized to begin sponsorship of the measure. So move, Mr. Speaker.
the Honorable Chair Enverga is recognized to take the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, distinguished Majority Leader. Mr. Speaker, I have the pleasure to sponsor Committee Report number 604, House Bill number 6149. May I move, Mr. Speaker, that the explanatory note be considered as a sponsorship speech?
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, kung mukhang wala na pong magtatanong sa ating sponsor, Mr. Speaker, I move that we terminate the period of sponsorship and debate.
is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the period of amendments is hereby called.
Mr. Speaker, there being no committee amendments nor individual amendments, I move that we close the period of amendments.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the period of amendments is hereby closed.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve on second reading House Bill 6149 under the Committee Report 604. So move, Mr. Speaker.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those who are not in favor say nay. The ayes have it. It's approved on second reading.
Mr. Speaker, under the calendar of business for the day, I move that we consider House Bill 7660 as contained in Committee Report number 605, submitted by the Committee on Agriculture and Food. May I request the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bills.
The Secretary General is hereby directed to read the title of the bill.
House Bill number 7660, an act declaring the municipality of San Juan in the province of Batangas as the egg basket of the Philippines.
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the chairperson of Committee on Agriculture and Food, Honorable Enverga, be recognized to begin sponsorship of the measure.
the
So moved, Mr.
Honorable Mark
Speaker.
Enverga, Chairman of the Committee on Food and Agriculture, is hereby recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, distinguished Majority Leader. I have the pleasure of sponsoring today House Bill number 7660, Committee Report number 605. May I move, Mr. Speaker, that the explanatory note be considered as a sponsorship speech?
Is there any objection to the motion? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, we join the...
Majority Leader,
We join the author and move the explanatory made as sponsorship speech.
noted. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no member who wishes to interpolate the sponsor, I move that we close the period of sponsorship and debate.
There being no, is there any objection? Hearing none, we close the period of sponsorship and debate.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments.
The period of amendments is hereby opened. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, There being no member who wishes to uh, include amendment or nor committee amendment, individual amendment, I move that we close the period of amendments.
Is there any objection to the motion? Hearing none, the motion to close the period of amendment is hereby approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve on second reading House Bill 7660, Committee Report 605. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Those who are in favor, say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, say nay. The ayes have it. It's approved on second reading.
Mr. Speaker, I move that under the calendar of business for the day, I move that we reconsider House Bill 8080 as contained in committee report number 612 submitted by the committee on basic education. And may I request the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bills?
The Secretary General is so directed.
House Bill 8080, an act instituting services for learners with disabilities in support of inclusive education, establishing inclusive learning resource center in all school districts, providing for standards and appropriating funds therefore.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the Chairman of Agriculture and Food, Honorable Enverga.
The Honorable Chairman from
Hey, Basic Education, Representative Roman Romulo.
the Chair hereby recognizes the Chair of the Committee on Basic Education to sponsor the bill, the Honorable Congressman Romulo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Majority Leader. Well, I have the honor to sponsor Committee Report number 612 on House Bill number 8080, an act instituting services for learners with disabilities in support of inclusive education, establishing inclusive learning resource centers in all school districts, providing for standards and appropriating funds therefore. Mr. Speaker, currently our learners with disabilities are being taught in individual SPED centers. Some have already instituted inclusive education. But since our Constitution provides that all learners must be provided with free, quality public education, we want to make it mandatory. In this bill, we are institutionalizing inclusive learning. Mr. Speaker, may I request also that the explanatory note of the committee report be made part of the records of this sponsorship measure.
Majority Leader.
Here we join the author and move that the explanatory note of the bill be made as a sponsorship speech of the.
Any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, there being no members who wish to interpolate on the good author, I move that we close the period of sponsorship and debate.
Any objections? Hearing none, the period of amendments is hereby closed.
Sponsorship and debate, Mr. Speaker.
Sponsorship and debate is hereby closed.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of committee amendments.
Is there any objection? We now open it for amendments. Committee amendments.
Mr. Speaker,
Speaker, I move that we recognize the chairman of the Basic Education Committee to introduce the committee amendments.
Chairman is now allowed to introduce the committee amendments to the bill.
Mr. Speaker, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Majority Leader. We have one committee amendment, Mr. Speaker, and this is on Section 21 of said measure. We are proposing a committee amendment simply because, Mr. Speaker, we want to empower and authorize the parents, guardians of our learners with disabilities to have the authority to ensure that their children be allowed into our regular classrooms. Mr. Speaker, the proposed amendment should read as follows. Section 21, Procedural Safeguards. The DepEd shall establish and maintain procedures to ensure that LWDs and their parents or guardians are guaranteed procedural safeguards with respect to the provision of free and appropriate public education, period. Procedural safeguards shall include the creation of policies, procedures, and other administrative approaches, which include, but not limited to, the rights to be informed in the LWDs or the parents or guardians' mother tongue, and be served written notice on matters affecting the education of the learner with disability. The right to confidentiality of personally identifiable information, including the right of parents to written notice of and written consent to the exchange of such information among agencies. This shall include the opportunity for the parents or guardians of LWDs to examine all related records and to participate in meetings with respect to the identification, evaluation, educational placement, and provision of education programs to LWDs. The DepEd, through its district office, shall likewise ensure the speedy and timely administrative resolution of complaints filed by learners with disabilities, their parents, guardians, caregivers, or other immediate family members, which shall be promptly acted upon and resolved not later than 30 calendar days from receipt of the complaint. Any DepEd official, teacher, or employee, and CDC or ILRC personnel who shall cause any undue delay and fail to comply with the said prescribed period shall be held administratively liable. We submit, Mr. Speaker, Majority Leader.
Majority Leader,
Speaker, I move that we accept the amendments introduced by the chairman.
any objection? Hearing none, the committee amendment is hereby approved.
Chairman, Mr. Speaker, there being no other committee amendments, I move that we close the period of committee amendments.
Is there any objection? It is closed.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the individual amendments, the period of individual amendments.
We now open the floor for individual amendments. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, there being no members who wish to introduce amendments, I move that we close the period of individual amendment.
any objection? Hearing none, we close the period of individual amendments.
Speaker, I move that we approve on second reading House Bill number 8080 under Committee Report number 612 as amended. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
For those in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes clearly have it. House Bill is approved on second reading.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Majority Leader.
Speaker, I move that we suspend session for a few minutes.
Session suspended.
House number 3. Bill number 3 on page
Session resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Bill number 7835 as contained in Committee Report number 552 and request the Secretary General to read the title of the bill.
The Secretary General is directed to read the title of the bill.
House Bill 7835, an act requiring for the full disclosure of lobbying activities in government sector, repealing for the purpose Republic Act number 1827, entitled An Act to Regulate Lobbying in the Congress of the Philippines and in the Commission on Appointments and providing penalties therefor.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the chairperson of the Committee on People's Participation to be recognized to begin her sponsorship message for the said measure.
The Honorable Chair of People's Participation Committee is hereby recognized Congresswoman Rita Robes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today, it is my pleasure to present to all of you House Bill number 7835, and may I request that this bill be adopted. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader. Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, there will be no interpellator, so I move that we close the period of amendment, sponsorship and amendment and debates. Mr. Speaker, so move.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, we close the period of sponsorship and debate.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments.
The period of amendments hereby approved. Committee amendments.
There being no individual amendments, Mr. Speaker, and committee amendments, I move for that we close the period of amendments and.
Is there any
so move.
objection? Hearing none, we close the period of committee and individual amendments.
Mr. Speaker, I move for the approval of for second reading of the said measure. So move,
So-
Mr. Speaker.
Those in favor say aye.
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 Those say nay. Those against? The ayes clearly have it. It's approved second reading.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Bill number 7950 as contained in the Committee Report number 571 and request the Secretary General to read the title of the bill, the measure.
The Secretary General is hereby directed to read the title of the bill.
House Bill 7950, an act creating a system of partnership between local governments and civil society organizations through the establishment of People's Council in every local government unit, prescribing its powers and functions and providing for its participation in the local sanggunian and local boards, council, committees, task force, and similar work groups.
Majority Leader, this representation.
Yes, Mr.
like to,
Speaker.
yes.
I move that the chairperson of the Committee on People's Participation to be recognized to begin her sponsorship speech for the said measure.
Once again, the chair of the Committee on People's Participation, the Honorable Representative Rita Robes, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, a pleasant afternoon to all. Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues, I am very thankful for including this People Empowerment Bill in today's agenda. In this, may I request to make a motion that this be adopted today, House Bill number 7950.
Majority Leader.
Speaker, I move to close the period of the. There's no members to interpolate. I move to suspend, to
Majority
close
Leader. This
Nomination.
representation wish to interpolate the Honorable Chairperson. That's why I would like to use the floor to be able to interpolate to a Deputy Speaker. Session
Mr.
suspended.
Speaker, I move session suspension. Mr. Speaker, I move,
Session resume. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to recognize Deputy Speaker Rufus Rodriguez for his interpellation.
The Deputy
Move.
Speaker, Rufus Rodriguez, is hereby recognized to interpolate the good sponsor. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished colleague, the Chair of the Committee on People's Participation.
Deputy Speaker, my apologies. Technical people, can you please turn on the mic on rostrum number 9? Please proceed, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The bill is very laudable. We want to have people's participation, especially in the local sanggunians. But, Mr. Speaker, is the sponsor aware that in a case decided by the Supreme Court, there can be no other council that can interfere with the Sangguniang Panlalawigan? After all Sangguniang Panlalawigan members, they already represent the people. And we have also from the barangay, and we have also from the different districts. So I have a question on legality of this under the local government code, because local governments already has their sanggunian, and nobody, no council can interfere with the sangguniang Panlalawigan, Panglusod, or other sanggunians. We ask from the Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Deputy Speaker. House Bill number 750 will definitely widen the areas for people's participation and bestow powers upon the local councils to send representatives to all LGU committees. You were asking me a while ago if I'm aware. Yes, I am aware of that. But definitely, if we work hand in hand together and give values on the thoughts of each other, you work on this, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In that case, Mr. Speaker, a similar council was proposed by some members of the community. And the Supreme Court ruled that only the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, in that case that I was mentioning, we have the Sangguniang Panglusod of a city, and to create a council that will even be interfering with the Sanggunian would be in violation of the powers of the Sanggunian. Yes, they can be heard, but by making them an institution by law, it will violate our local government code, because the local government code is supreme. But we can hear, the Sanggunian can hear all sectors, the farmer sectors, the business sector, and to put up by law a people's council in every local government will not only cause expenses and delay in the Sangguniang Panlalawigan's function, but it will be in violation of the powers and the composition of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, or Sangguniang Panglusod. We know, Mr. Speaker, from a distinguished colleague, on this particular issue, yeah, please.
Yes, Deputy Speaker, I am aware of that, and I really believe that you were telling me that there is a violation of that, but for now, it is not on our end. I know you will agree with me because in the Sangguniang Panglungsod o Panlalawigan, there is a representation from the IPs. So whenever they have this discussion, IPs is also considered as a civil society group. So therefore, I really believe that it is on the management of the mayor and the vice mayor on how to deal with it. And if there's a violation, would you like to propose any amendment on this bill?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Madam Chair. The status is that, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Speaker, is that the IPs are by law, by the IPRA law, are given by law seats in our local government units. But to have a council the council that will be created in every local government, prescribing its functions and providing for its participation in the Sangguniang and local boards will be in violation of our local government code. But I would like to ask the Honorable Chair, the sponsor, was the DILG present in the discussion of this, the Department of Local Government?
Ms. Deputy Speaker, yes, they are present during the deliberation of this bill. We even come up with a technical working group for this. And together with my colleagues in Congress, they were in there. So definitely, in a matter of asking the legitimacy of the bill, they didn't say anything about it. So that's the reason why we are now in the floor, Your Honor.
The Speaker, hearing that, and because I agree with the observations of the Honorable Chair, I now end my interpellation. I support the bill. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deputy Speaker, one of my mentors, actually. Thank you so much.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend the consideration of the said bill.
Consideration of the House bill is hereby suspended.
Move to suspend the session for a few minutes, Mr. Speaker.
Session hereby suspended.
Session resumed. Majority Leader.
Speaker, I move to suspend.
Session is suspended.
Thank you, boss.
Session resumed.
Mr.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Before we proceed, Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve Journal Number 9, covering the sessions from September 28 to November 18 of 2020. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the Journal of the House of Representatives is hereby approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Bill Number 7771 under Committee Report Number 532. May I request the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the measure. So move.
The Secretary General is directed to read the title of the bill.
House Bill 7771, an act reapportioning the province of Agusan del Norte into the lone legislative district of the city of Butuan and the legislative district of the province of Agusan del Norte.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the author of the bill, the Honorable Lawrence Fortun, to deliver the sponsorship speech. So move, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Lawrence Fortun, author of this bill, is hereby recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Oh. You are hereby
May I now-
recognized?
May I
Yes.
now proceed, Mr. Speaker?
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this measure, House Bill 7771, seeks to reapportion the legislative districts of the province of Agusan del Norte. Currently, it is the first district of Agusan del Norte, consisting of the city of Butuan and the municipality of Las Nieves. And the rest of the municipalities of the province of Agusan del Norte constitute the second district. And the measure, Mr. Speaker, seeks to reapportion into the lone legislative district of the city of Butuan and the lone legislative district of the province of Agusan del Norte, Mr. Chair. This is a measure principally authored, Mr. Chair, by this representation and the Honorable Maria Angelica Amante Matba of the 2nd District of Agusan del Norte. We appeal to the members of the 18th Congress, Mr. Chair, for the support for this measure.
Majority Leader.
Speaker, there being no members who wishes to interpret on the author, I move that we close the period of the sponsorship and debate.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments.
The period of amendments is hereby open. Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, no member wishes to propose amendments, and there being no committee amendments, I move that we close the period of amendments.
Any objection? Hearing none, the period of committee and individual amendments is hereby terminated.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve on second reading House Bill Number 7771 under Committee Report Number 532. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Those in favor of the House bill, say aye. Aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Congratulations to Congressman Fortun and Congressman Amatba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you to our Speaker, Lord Alan Velasco, and the members of the 18th Congress. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Daghang salamat, wala sapayan. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
Majority Leader.
I move that we consider House Bill Number 7905 under Committee Report Number 567. So move, Mr. Speaker.
The Secretary General is directed to read the title of the bill.
House Bill 7905, an act declaring the year 2020 as National Golf Tourism Year in the Philippines.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the Chairman of the Committee on Tourism, the Honorable Sol Aragones, to deliver her sponsorship speech. So move, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Chair of the Committee on Tourism, the Representative Aragones, is hereby recognized.
Mr. Speaker, magandang hapon po. My dear colleagues in the House, isang magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. As Chairperson of the House Committee on Tourism, this representation submits for your consideration a measure the committee believes will help boost the Philippine tourism industry, an industry that in 2019 contributed close to ₱500 billion in visitor receipts, an industry that is crucial to efforts to revive our economy. This House Bill number 7905 na ang author po nito ay si Congressman Michael Goriseta proposes to declare the year 2020 as National Golf Tourism Year, and its objective is to promote the Philippines as the premier golf tourism destination and to direct the Department of Tourism to lead government efforts to develop this particular niche in overall Philippine tourism promotion efforts. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, many of you are either familiar with this sport or have enthusiastically taken it up. So you know how firsthand that lovers of the sport will go anywhere in search of the perfect 18 holes. Our country has over 100 world-class golf courses, and these are assets we should work to leverage, as golf tourism can potentially bring in millions of pesos in income, not just for the golf courses themselves, but the auxiliary businesses that support these golf courses like hotels, resorts, restaurants, and the like. Mr. Speaker, your honors, as the tourism sector strives to overcome the challenges brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic, let us do our part to support initiatives in any shape, form, or fashion that can aid the sector recover and rebound, so the tourism industry in turn can again play its role as a significant driver of economic activity. In light of this, support for this measure is earnestly requested and will be greatly appreciated. Maraming salamat po, my dear colleagues. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no members who wish to interpolate on this measure, I move that we close the period of the sponsorship and debate.
Any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments.
Period of amendments is hereby opened.
Mr. Speaker, there being no members who wish to introduce amendments and no committee amendments, I move that we close the period of amendments.
Any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve on second reading House Bill number 7905 under committee report number 567. So moved.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. It's approved on second reading.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend session for a couple of
Session
minutes.
is suspended.
Session resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we shall call on Deputy Speaker Rufus Rodriguez to please ascend the rostrum for the Speaker to administer his oath of office and for his family to accompany him to the said rostrum.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Rufus B. Rodriguez
Of the Cagayan de Oro City,
of Cagayan de Oro City, 2nd District,
having been elected as Deputy Speaker, 18th Congress,
having been elected as Deputy Speaker, 18th Congress,
hereby solemnly
swear
that I will well and faithfully discharge,
that I will well and faithfully discharge,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
the duties of my present position,
the duties of my present position,
and of all others I may hereafter hold under the Republic of the Philippines.
and of all others I may hereafter hold under the Republic of the Philippines.
I will support and defend the Constitution of the Philippines.
I will support and defend the Constitution of the Philippines.
I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will obey the laws, legal orders,
that I will obey the laws, legal orders,
and decrees promulgated by the duly constituted authorities of the Republic of the Philippines,
and decrees duly promulgated by the duly constituted authorities of the Republic of the Philippines,
and that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily,
that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily,
without mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
without mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Session suspended to allow the members to congratulate the newly appointed Deputy Speaker, Rufus Rodriguez.
Session resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move for the consideration on third and final reading of House Bill number 7812. And for this purpose, may I request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill. So moved.
The Secretary General is...
And thereafter call the roll for nominal voting.
The Secretary General is requested to read the title and to call the roll of members for nominal voting.
House Bill 7812, an act creating anti-drug abuse councils in all provinces, cities, municipalities, and barangay throughout the country. Roll call of members in consideration of House Bill 7812. Honorable members, Abante, Abaya, Bellanosa, Abueg Zaldivar, Abunda, Acop, Acosta, Acosta Alba, Adjong, Advincula, Agabas, Agaraw, Aglipay, Aguinaldo, Albano, Almario, Alonte, Alvarez Franz, Alvarez Senaro, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amante Matba, Amatong, Angara, Aragones, Arbison, Arenas, Arroyo, Atienza, Umentado, Babasa, Bagatsing, Balindong, Banyas Nograles, Barba, Barbers, Baronda, Berzaga, Baskug, Bautista, Bautista Bandigan, Belmonte, Benitez, Bernos, Biason, Billones, Biron, Bolilla, Bondok, Bordado, Bravo, Brosas, Bulot, Bustos, Kabatbat, Cabochan, Cabredo, Cagas, Calderon, Calixto, Caminero, Campos, Canama, Cawagdan, Cardema, Cari, Castelo, Castro Franz, Castro Fredinil, Cayetano Alan Peter Compañero, Cayetano Mariela Arni, Celeste, Chato, Chipeco, Chungalao, Co Angelica, Co Elizaldi, Cuanco, Colyantes, Crisologo, Cua, Cuaresma, Cueva, Culyamat, Dagoo, Dalipe, Dalog, Dasa, De Jesus, De Venecia, Defensor Lawrence, Defensor Michael, De Los Santos, De Loso Montalya, Demaporo Abdullah, Demaporo Muhammad Khalid, Duavit, Duhali, Duterte, D. Faustino Ino, D. Faustino Michael III, D. Ian Paul, Ebcas, Ecleo, Elago, Enverga, Erice, Ergel, Ermita Buhain, Escudero, Espina, Espino, Estrella, Fariñas Ria, Fariñas Rudy Cesar, Fernandez, Fernando, Fer Juliet, Fer Luis, Flores, Fortun, Fortuno, Frasco, Fuentebella, Gaite, Garbin, Garcia Jose Enrique, Garcia Pablo Jan, Garcia Vincent, Garin Janet, Garin Sharon, Gasataya, Gatchalian, Gato, Heron, Go Ed, Go Mark, Gonzaga, Gonzales Aurelio Dong, Gonzales Neptali, Gonzales Sandro, Guruseta, Gico, Gullas, Guya, Haresco, Hataman, Hernandez, Herrera D, Hofer, Halusos, Javier, Jimenez, Co Elisa, Co Wilton, Conhun, Labad Labad, Lacson, Lacson Noel, Lagman, Lagon, Lara, Lasatin, Liachon, Ligarda, Lim, Lim Kaichong, Lopez, Loyola, Losotan, Macapagal Arroyo, Maceda, Madrona, Malapitan, Mangawang, Mangundadato, Marcoleta, Mariano Hernandez, Mariño, Marquez, Martinez, Matba, Matugas, Mendoza, Mercado, Momo, Natividad Nagaño, Nava, Nieto, Noel, Nograles Jericho, Nograles Juan Fidel, Nolasco, Nunez Malanyaon, Huaminal, Olivares, Ong Se, Ong Roni, Ordanes, Ortega, Juano Dizon, Pacquiao Alberto, Pacquiao Rogelio, Padjernos, Paduano, Palma, Pancho, Panotes, Peña, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Plaza, Puno, Kimbo, Radaza, Ramirez Sato, Remulla, Revilla, Reyes, Rivera, Robes, Rodriguez, Roman, Romero, Romualdez Ferdinand, Romualdez Yeda Marie, Romualdo, Romulo, Roque, Sakdalan, Sagarbaria, Sakaluran, Salceda, Salimbangon, Salo, Sanchez, Sancopan, Santos Recto, Sarmiento, Saulug, Sevillano, Xiao, Silverio, Singson, Singson Mihan, Sinsuat, Swansing Estrelita, Swansing Horacio, Suarez Aleta, Suarez David, Suntay, C. Alvarado, Taduran, Talyado, Tambunting, Tan Alisa, Tan Angelina, Tan Shamir, Tan Shari, Tan Sherny, Tejada, Teves Arnulfo, Teves Jose, Tiangco, Tolentino, Torres Gomez, Tulfo, Tupas, Tutor, T. Alan, T. Diego, Umali Alfonso, Umali Maria Victoria, Unabia, Ungab, Uy Juliet, Uy Rolando, Valeriano, Valmayor, Vargas, Vargas Alfonso, Velasco, Veloso, Vergara, Villa, Villafuerte, Villanueva, Brother Eddie, Villanueva Noel, Villar, Villarasa Suarez, Villarica, Violago, Yap Eric, Yap Victor, Yu, Zamora Ronaldo, Zamora Waikorat, Zarate Zubiri. Second call for House Bill numbers 7812. Honorable members, Abante, Abaya, Acosta, Aglipay, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amatong, Aragones, Arbizon, Mentado, Bañez Nograles, Barzaga, Bautista, Bernos, Biason, Rosas, Bulot, Kabatbat, Kanama, Cardema, Castro France, Chungalao, Co Angelica, Co Elizalde, Cuangco, Quaresma, Culyamat, Dalipe, De Venecia, Tensor Michael, De Los Santos, Duavit, Duhali, D. Faustino Ino, D. Ian Paul, Ebcas, Ermita Buhayin, Espino, Fariñas, Rudy Cesar, Fernandez, Fernando, Flores, Garin Sharon, Gasataya, Go Ed, Gonzaga, Gonzales Neptali, Gonzales Sandro, Kiko, Haresco, Javier, Co Wilton, Kong Hun, Labad Labad, Lagon, Liachon, Malapitan, Marcoleta, Marquez, Martinez, Mendoza, Mercado, Nograles Juan Fidel, Nolasco, Nunez Malañaon, Ong Jose, Ordanes, Pacquiao Alberto, Pacquiao Rogelio, Panotes, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Romero, Sakdalan, Sancopan, Silverio, Singson, Sinsuat, Suarez Aleta, C. Alvarado, Talyado, Tan Alisa, Tan Shari, Tan Sherny, Torres Gomez, Tulfo, Umali Alfonso, Unabia, Uy Juliet, Vargas Alfonso, Veloso, Villafuerte, Villar, Villarasa Suarez, Villarica, Yap Victor, Yu, Zamora Waikorat, Zarate.
On House Bill 7812, with 200 members voting in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and 0 abstention, House Bill number 7812 is hereby approved on third and final reading. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider on third and final reading the following House Bills: 7917, 7977, 7983, 7984, 7985, 7987, 7988, 7989, and 8015, all are local bills on ecotourism sites and tourist attractions. And for this purpose, may I request that the Secretary General be called for the roll for nominal voting. So move, Mr. Speaker.
The Secretary General is hereby directed to call the roll of members for nominal voting.
House Bill 7447, an act establishing a provincial office of the Commission on Higher Education in the province of Davao Oriental and appropriating funds therefore. House Bill House Bill 7917, an act declaring the province of Agusal del Sur as home of the Golden Tara. House Bill number 7977, an act declaring the Siay Cabasalan wetlands in the municipality of Siay and Cabasalan, province of Zamboanga, Sibugay, an ecotourism site, establishing the Siay Cabasalan Wetlands Ecotourism Council and appropriating funds therefore. House Bill number 7983, an act declaring that Tinakayanan Falls, located in the municipality of Labrador, province of Pangasinan, an ecotourism site and appropriating funds therefore. House Bill number 7984, an act declaring Mount Tapulao, located in the municipality of Palagi, province of Zambales, an ecotourism zone and forest reserve and appropriating funds therefore. House Bill number 7985, an act declaring Mount Pinatubo, located in the municipality of Botolan, province of Zambales, an ecotourism zone and appropriating funds therefore. House Bill number 7987, an act distinguishing the Dao tree located within the secondary forest in the integrated forest management area of the E. Pelaez Ranch in Bayumbong, Barangay Cugman, Cagayan de Oro City as the Cagayan de Oro Heritage Tree, declaring it a tourism attraction and appropriating funds therefore. House Bill number 7988, an act declaring the Malubal Falls in the municipality of Rosel T. Lim, province of Zamboanga, Sibugay, an ecotourism site and appropriating funds therefore. House Bill number 7989, an act declaring the underground Tipan Cave in the municipality of Naga, province of Zamboanga, Sibugay, an ecotourism site and appropriating funds therefore. House Bill number 8015, an act declaring the Sicogon Island located in the municipality of Carles, province of Iloilo, an ecotourism zone and appropriating funds therefore. House Bill number, roll call of members in consideration of the said House Bills. Honorable members, Abante, Abaya, Abellanosa, Abu, Abueg Saldivar, Abunda, Acop, Acosta Alba, Acosta, Adjong, Advincula, Agabas, Agaraw, Aglipay, Aguinaldo, Albano, Almario, Alonte, Alvarez Franz, Alvarez Senaro, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amante Matba, Amatong, Angara, Aragones, Arbizon, Arenas, Arroyo, Atienza, Aumentado, Babasa, Bagatsing, Balindong, Banyas, Nograles, Barba, Barbers, Baronda, Bersaga, Bascub, Bautista, Bautista Bendigan, Belmonte, Benitez, Bernos, Biason, Bullones, Biron, Bolilla, Bondok, Bravo, Bordado, Brosas, Bulot, Bustos, Kabat-Gabat, Cabotchan, Cabredo, Cagas, Calderon, Calixto, Caminero, Campos, Canama, Cawagdan, Cardema, Cari Castelo, Castro Franz, Castro Fredinil, Cayetano Alan Peter Compañero, Cayetano Mariola Arni, Celeste, Chato, Chipeco, Chungalauco, Angelica, Colizaldi, Cuanco, Colyantes, Crisologo, Cuwa, Cuaresma, Cueva, Colyamat, Dagook, Daliped, Dalog, Dasa, De Jesus, De Venecia, Defensor Lawrence, Defensor Michael, De Los Santos, De Los Montalia, Demoporo Abdullah, Demoporo Muhammad Khalid, Duavit, Duhali, Duterte, Di Faustino Ina, Di Faustino Michael III, Di Ian Paul, Ebcas, Ecleo, Elago, Enverga, Erice, Erigel, Ermita Buhain, Escudero, Espina, Espino, Estrella, Fariñas Ria, Fariñas Rudy Cesar, Fernandez, Fernando, Fer Julius, Fer Luis, Flores, Fortuno, Frasco, Fetebella, Gaite, Garbin, Garcia, Jose Enrique, Garcia, Pablo Jan, Garcia, Vincent, Garin Janet, Garin Sharon, Gasataya, Gatchalian, Gato, Herongo, Edgo, Mark, Gonzaga, Gonzales, Aurelio Don, Gonzales, Neptali, Gonzales, Sandro, Guruseta, Gico, Gullas, Guya, Haresco, Hataman, Hernandez, Herrera D, Hofer, Halusos, Javier Jimenez, Ko Elisa, Ko Wilton, Kong Hun, Labad, Lacson Noel, Lagman, Lagon Lara, Lasatin, Liachon, Legarda, Lim Kaichong, Lopez, Loyola, Losotan, Macapagal Arroyo, Maceda, Madrona, Malapitan, Mangawang, Magundadato, Marcoleta, Mariano Hernandez, Marino Marquez Martinez, Matba, Matugas, Mendoza, Mercado, Momo, Natividad Naganyo, Nava, Nieto, Noel, Nograles, Jericho, Nograles, Juan Fidel, Nolasco, Nunez, Malañaon, Waminal, Olivares, Ong Jose, Ong Ronnie, Ordanes, Ortega, Uwana Dizon, Pacquiao Alberto, Pacquiao Rogelio, Padiernos, Paduano, Palma, Pancho, Panotes, Peña, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Plaza, Puno, Kimbo, Radaza, Ramirez, Sato, Remulla, Revilla, Reyes, Rivera, Robes, Rodriguez, Roman, Romero, Romualdez, Ferdinand, Romualdez, Yeda Marie, Romualdo, Romulo, Roque, Sakdalan, Sagarbaria, Sakaluran, Salceda, Salimbangon, Salo, Sanchez, Sancopan, Santos Recto, Sarmiento, Saulug, Sevillano, Xiao Silverio, Singson, Singson Mian, Sinsuat, Swansing Estrita, Swansing Horacio, Suarez Aleta, Suarez David, Suntay, C. Alvarado, Taduran Talyado, Tambunting, Tan Alisa, Tan Angelina, Tan Shamir, Tan Shari, Tan Sherni, Tejada, Teves Arnulfo, Teves Jose, Tiangco, Tolentino, Torres Gomez, Tulfo, Tupas Tutor, T. Alan, T. Diego, Umali Alfonso, Umali Maria Victoria, Unabia Ungab, Uy Juliet, Uy Rolando, Valmayor, Valeriano, Vargas, Vargas Alfonso, Velasco, Veloso, Vergara, Villa, Villafuerte, Villanueva, Brother Eddie, Villanueva, Noel, Villar, Villarasa Suarez, Villarica, Violago, Yap Eric, Yap Victor, Yu, Zamora Ronaldo, Zamora Waikorat, Zarate, Zubiri. Second call, in consideration on third reading, the said House bills. Honorable members, Abante, Abaya, Acosta, Aglipay, Alvarez, Pantaleon, Amatong, Aragones, Arbison, Aumentado, Bañez Nograles, Bersaga, Bautista, Bernos, Biron, Brosas, Bulot, Kabatbat, Kanama, Cardema, Castro Franz, Chungalao, Coangelica, Coelzaldi, Cuangco, Colyamat, Dalipe, Defensor Michael de los Santos, Duavit, Duhali, Di Faustino Ino, D. Ian Paul, Ebcas, Ermita Buhain, Espino, Fariñez, Rudy Cesar, Fernandez, Fernando, Flores, Garin Sharon Gatchalian, Go Ed Gonzaga, Gonzales Neptali, Gonzales Sandro, Kiko, Guya, Haresco, Herrera D. Javier, Co Wilton, Kong Hun, Labad Labad, Lagon, Liachon, Malapitan, Marcoleta, Marquez Martinez, Mendoza, Mercado, Nograles Juan Fidel, Nolasco, Nunez Malañaon, Ong Jose Ordanes, Pacquiao Alberto, Pacquiao Rogelio, Panotes, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Romero, Sakdalan, Sancopan, Silverio, Singson, Sinsuat, Suarez Aleta, si Alvarado, Talyado, Tan Alisa, Tan Shari, Tan Sherni, Torres Gomez, Unabia, Uy Juliet, Vargas Alfonso, Veloso, Villaferte, Villar, Villaras Suarez, Villarica, Yap Victor, Yu, Zarate.
With 205 members voting in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and 0 abstention, House Bill numbers 7917, 7977, 7983, 7984, 7985, 7987, 7988, 7989, and 3015 are hereby approved on third and final reading. Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move for the consideration on third and final reading, House Bill 7447, 7516, 7969. These are all local bills intended to establish CHED provincial offices. May I request the Secretary General to be directed to read the title of the said bills and joint resolution. Thereafter, roll call for nominal voting. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
The Secretary General is directed to read the titles of these three bills and proceed with the roll call of members for nominal voting.
House Bill 7447, an act establishing a provincial office of the Commission on Higher Education in the province of Davao Oriental and appropriating funds therefore. House Bill number 7516, an act establishing a provincial office of the Commission on Higher Education in the province of Sorsogon and appropriating funds therefore. House Bill 7969, an act establishing a provincial office of the Commission on Higher Education in the province of Northern Samar and appropriating funds therefore. Roll call of members in consideration of House Bill number 7447, 7516, and 7969. Honorable members, Abante, Abaya, Abellanosa, Abu, Abueg Saldivar, Abunda, Acop, Acosta, Acosta Alba, Adjong, Advincula, Agabas, Agaraw, Aglipay, Aguinaldo, Albano, Almario, Alonte, Alvarez, Franz, Alvarez Senaro, Alvarez Pantaleon, Mantematba, Matong, Angara, Aragones, Arbison, Arenas, Arroyo, Atienza, Aumentada, Babasa, Bagatsing, Balindong, Banyas Nograles, Barba, Barbers, Baronda, Bersaga, Bascug, Bautista, Bautista Bendigan, Belmonte, Benitez, Bernos, Biason, Billones, Biron, Bolilla, Bondok, Bordado, Bravo, Brosas, Bulot, Bustos, Kabatbat, Kabachan, Cabredo, Cagas, Calderon, Calixto, Caminero, Campos, Canama, Cawagdan, Cardema, Cari, Castelo, Castro Franz, Castro Fredinil, Cayetano, Alan Peter Compañero, Cayetano, Mariela Arni, Celeste, Chato, Chipeco, Chungalaw, Angelica, Coelizaldi, Cuangco, Colyantes, Crisologo, Cuba, Quaresma, Cueva, Colyamat, Dagook, Dalipe, Dalog, Dasa de Jesus, de Venecia, Defensor Lawrence, Defensor Michael, de los Santos, de los Montalya, de Vaporo Abdullah, de Vaporo, Muhammad Khalid, Duavit, Duhali, Duterte, Di Faustino, Ina, Di Faustino, Michael III, D. Ian Paul, Ebcas, Ecleo, Elago, Enverga, Erice, Erigel, Ermita Buhay, Escudero, Espina, Estrella, Farinas, Ria, Farinas, Rudy Cesar, Fernandez, Fernando, Fer, Juliet, Fer, Luis, Flores, Fortuno, Frasco, Puentebella, Gaita, Garbin, Garcia, Jose Enrique, Garcia, Pablo Jan, Garcia, Vincent, Garin Janet, Garin Sharon, Gasataya, Gatchalian, Gato, Heron, Go, Edgo, Mark, Gonzaga, Gonzales, Aurelio Dong, Gonzales, Neptali, Gonzales, Sandro, Rosetta, Gigo, Gullas, Guya, Haresco, Ataman, Hernandez, Herrera D, Hofer, Aluso, Xavier Jimenez, Ko Elisa, Ko Wilton, Konghun, Labad, Lacson, Noel, Lagman, Lagon, Lara, Lasatin, Liachon, Legarda, Lim, Kay Chong, Lopez, Loyola, Lusotan, Macapagal Arroyo, Maceda, Madrona, Malapitan, Mangawang, Magunda Dato, Marcoleta, Mariano Hernandez, Marino, Marquez Martinez, Matba, Matugas, Mendoza, Mercado, Momo, Natividad, Naganyo, Nava Nieto, Noel, Nograles, Jericho, Nograles, Juan Fidel, Nolasco, Nunez, Malañaon, Waminal, Olivares, Ong Jose, Ong Ronnie, Ordanes, Ortega, Juan Dizon, Pacquiao Alberto, Pacquiao Rogelio, Padjernos, Paduano, Palma, Pancho, Panotes, Peña, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Plaza, Puno, Kimbo, Radasa, Ramirez, Sato, Rimulya, Revilla, Reyes, Rivera, Robes, Rodriguez, Roman Romero, Romualdez, Ferdinand, Romualdez, Yeda Marie, Romulo, Romualdo, Roque, Sakdalan, Cigar Barriga, Sakaluran, Salceda, Salimbango, Salo, Sanchez, Angkupan, Santos Recto, Sarmiento, Saulug, Sevillano, Xiao Silverio, Singson Mihan, Sinsuat, Swansing Esrides, Swansing Horacio, Suarez Aleta, Suarez David, Suntay, Si Alvarado, Taduran Talyado, Tambunting, Tan Alisa, Tan Angelina, Tan Shamir, Tan Shari, Tan Sherny, Tejada, Teves Arnulfo, Teves Uset, Yanko Tolentino, Torres Gomez, Tulfo Tupastor, Alan T. Diego, Umali Alfonso, Umali Maria Victoria, Unabia, Ungab, Uy Juliet, Uy Rolando, Valeriano, Valmayor, Vargas Alfonso, Velasco, Veloso, Vergara, Villaferte, Villanueva Brother Eddie, Villanueva Noel, Villar, Villaras Suarez, Villarica, Violago, Yap Eric, Yap Victor, Yu, Zamora Ronaldo, Zamora Baycorat, Zarate, Zubiri. Second call for House Bill number 7447, 7516, and 7969. Abante, Abaya, Acosta, Aglipay, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amatong, Aragones, Arbison, Aumentado, Banyas Nograles, Bersaga, Bautista, Bernas, Biron, Brosas, Bulot, Kabatbat, Canama, Cardema, Castro Franz, Chungalaw, Angelica, Coelizaldi, Cuangco, Colyamat, Dalipe, Defensor Michael de los Santos, Duavit, Duhali, Di Faustino, Ina, D. Ian Paul, Ebcas, Ermita Buan, Espino, Farinas, Rudy Cesar, Fernandez, Flores, Garin Sharon, Gatchalian, Go, Ed Gonzaga, Gonzales, Neptali, Gonzales Sandro, Gico, Guya, Haresco, Herrera D. Javier, Co, Wilton, Konghun, Labad, Lagon, Liachon, Malapitan, Marcoleta, Marquez Martinez, Mendoza, Mercado, Nograles 1, Fidel Nolasco, Nunez Malañaon, Ong Jose Ordanes, Pacquiao Alberto, Panostes, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Romero, Sakdalan, Sangcopan, Silverio, Singson, Sinsuat, Suarez, Aleta, C. Alvarado, Tan Alisa, Tan Shari, Tan Sherny, Torres Gomez, Unabia, Uy Juliet, Vargas Alfonso, Veloso, Villafuerte, Villar, Villarasa Suarez, Villarica, Yap Victor, Yu, and Zarate.
Result of the voting on third and final reading, with 205 members voting in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and 0 abstention. House Bill numbers 7447, 7516, and 7969 are hereby approved on third and final reading. Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move for the consideration on third and final reading House Bill 5365, 7992, 7993, 7994, 7995, 7996, 7997, 7998, and 7927. These all are national high schools and cultural heritage zones. For this purpose, may I request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill and thereafter call the roll for nominal voting. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
The Secretary General is directed to read the titles of these bills and proceed with the calling the roll of members for nominal voting.
House Bill 5367, an act separating the Mariano Peralta National High School, Sangay Extension in Barangay Sangay, Municipality of Malita, Province of Davao Occidental, from the Mariano Peralta National High School, converting it into an independent national high school to be known as Ernesto Lopez National High School and appropriating funds therefore. House Bill number 7992, an act separating the Naneng National High School, Mosimos Extension in Barangay Dupag, City of Tabok, Province of Kalinga, from the Naneng National High School, converting it into an independent national high school to be known as Dupag National High School and appropriating funds therefore. House Bill number 7993, an act establishing a national high school in Barangay Talipapa, Quezon City, Metro Manila to be known as the Talipapa National High School and appropriating funds therefore. House Bill number 7994, an act separating the Baguio City National High School, Fort del Pilar, Annex in Barangay Fort del Pilar, Baguio City, from the Baguio City National High School, converting it into an independent national high school to be known as the Fort del Pilar National High School and appropriating funds therefore. House Bill number 7996, an act separating the Cebuco National High School, Lunday Annex in Barangay Lunday, Municipality of Cebuco, Province of Zamboanga del Norte, from the Cebuco National High School and converting it into an independent national high school to be known as the Lunday National High School and appropriating funds therefore. House Bill number 7997, an act converting the Labason Central School in Barangay Lopok, Municipality of Labason, Province of Zamboanga del Norte, into an integrated school to be known as the Labason Integrated School and appropriating funds therefore. House Bill number 7998, an act changing the name of Paracelis National High School in Barangay Poblacion, Municipality of Paracelis, Mountain Province, into Serapio Gawan National High School. House Bill number 7927, an act establishing a heritage zone within the Municipality of San Vicente, Province of Ilocos Sur. Roll call of members in consideration of the said House bills. Honorable members: Abante, Abaya, Bellanosa, Abu, Abig, Saldivar, Abunda, Acop, Acosta, Acosta, Alba, Jongad, Vinculaga, Basa, Garao, Aglipay, Aguinaldo, Albano, Almario, Alonte, Alvarez, Franz, Alvarez, Sinaro, Alvarez, Pantaleon, Amante, Matba, Matong, Angara, Aragones, Arbison, Arenas, Arroyo, Atienza, Aumentado, Babasa, Bagatsing, Balindong, Banyas, Nograles, Barba, Barbers, Baronda, Berskaga, Bascug, Bautista, Bautista, Bandigan, Belmonte, Benitez, Bernos, Biason, Billones, Biron, Bolilla, Bondok, Bordado, Bravo, Brosas, Bulat, Bustos, Kabatbat, Cabochan, Cabredo, Cagas, Calderon, Calixto, Caminero, Campos, Canama, Cawagdan, Cari, Cardema, Castelo, Castro, Franz, Castro, Fredinil, Cayetano, Alan Peter, Compañero, Cayetano, Mariela Arni, Celeste, Chato, Chipeco, Chungalaw, Angelica, Coy Lizaldi, Cuanco, Colyantes, Crisologo, Cuwa, Quaresma, Cueva, Colyamat, Dago, Dalipe, Dalog, Dasa, De Jesus, De Venecia, Defensor Lawrence, Defensor Michael, De Los Santos, De Losa Montalia, Demoporo Abdullah, Demoporo, Muhammad Khalid, Duavit Duhali Duterte, Di Faustino Ina, Di Faustino Michael III, Di Ian Paul, Ebcas, Ecleo, Elago, Enverga, Erisa, Erigel, Ermita Buhay, Escudero, Espina, Espina, Australia, Farinas Ria, Farinas Rudy Caesar, Fernandez, Fernando, Ferrer, Juliet, Ferrer, Luis, Flores, Fortuno, Frasco, Fentebella, Gaite, Garbin, Garcia, Jose Enrique, Garcia, Pablo Jan, Garcia, Vincent, Garin Janet Garin Sharon, Gasataya, Gatchalian, Gato, Herongo, Edgo Mark, Gonzaga, Gonzales, Aurelio, Don Gonzales, Neptali, Gonzales Sandro, Curaceta, Gico, Gulles, Guya, Haresco, Ataman, Hernandez, Herrera, D. Hofer, Lusos, Javier Jimenez, Co, Elisa, Colwitlo, Conjun, Labad-Labad, Lacson, Noel, Lagman, Lagon, Lara, Lasatin, Liachon, Legardo, Limlem, Kaichong, Lopez, Loyola, Losotan, Makapagalaroy, Maceda, Madrona, Malapitan, Mangao, Magundato, Marcoleta, Mariano Hernandez, Marino Marquez, Martinez, Matba, Matugas, Mendoza, Mercado, Moma, Natividad de Gaño, Nava Nieto, Noel, Nograles, Jericho, Nograles, Monfidel, Nolasco, Nunez, Malanyaw, Nominal, Olivares, Ongse, Ongroni, Ordanes, Ortega, Orwano, Dizon, Pacquiao, Alberto, Pacquiao, Rogelio, Pajernos, Paduano, Palma, Pancho, Panotes, Peña, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Plaza, Puno, Kimbo, Rodasa, Ramirez, Sato, Remulla, Revilla, Reyes, Rivera, Robes, Rodriguez, Roman, Romero, Romualdez, Ferdinand, Romualdo, Romulo, Roque, Sakdalan, Sagarbaria, Sakaluran, Salceda, Salimbangon, Salo, Sanchez, Sancopan, Santos Recto, Sarmiento, Saulug, Savillano, Xiao, Silverio, Singson, Mian, Sinsuat, Swansing Estrellas, Swansing Horacio, Suarez Aleta, Suarez David, Suntay, Si Alvarado, Taduran Talyado, Tambunting, Tan Alisa, Tan Angelina, Tan Shamir, Tan Shari, Tan Sherny, Teada, Teves, Arnulfo, Teves, Jose, Tianco, Tolentino, Torres Gomez, Tulfo, Tupas, Shotor, T. Alan, T. Diego, Umali Alfonso, Umali Maria Victoria, Unabia, Ungab, Uy Juliet, Uy Rolando, Val Mayor, Valeriano, Vargas, Vargas Alfonso, Velasco, Veloso, Vergara, Villafuerte, Villanueva, Brother Eddie, Villanueva, Noel, Villar, Villaras Suarez, Villarica, Violago, Yap Eric, Yap Victor, Yu, Zamora Ronaldo, Zamora Waikorat, Zarate, Zubiri. Second call for the said House bills, honorable members, Abante, Abaya, Acosta, Aglipay, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amatong, Aragones, Arbison, Aumentado, Baños Nograles, Bersaga, Bautista, Bernos, Biron, Brosas, Bulot, Kabatbat, Cardema, Canama, Castro France, Chungalao, Angelica, Coalizaldi, Coanco, Culyama, Dalipe, Defensor Michael De Los Santos, Tuhali, Di Faustino Ino, D. Ian Paul, Epcas, Ermita Buhain, Espino, Fariñez, Rudy Cesar, Fernandez, Fernando, Flores, Garin Sharon, Gatchalian, Go, Ed Gonzaga, Gonzales Neptali, Gonzales Sandro, Gico, Guya, Haresco, Herrera D, Javier, Co, Wilton, Conjun, Labad, Lagon, Liachon, Malapitan, Marcoleta, Marquez, Martinez, Mendoza, Mercado, Nograles, Juan Fidel, Nolasco, Nunez, Malanyaon, Ongse, Ordanes, Pacquiao, Alberto, Panotes, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Romero, Sakdalan, Sancopan, Silver, Singson, Sinsuat, Suarez, Aleta, C. Alvarado, Tan Alisa, Tan Shari, Tan Sherny, Torres Gomez, Unabia, Uy Juliet, Vargas Alfonso, Veloso, Villafuerte, Villar, Villaras Suarez, Villarica, Ya Victorio, Zarate.
The result of the voting for the bills read. With 205 members voting in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and 0 abstention, House Bill numbers 5365, 7992, 7993, 7994, 7995, 7996, 7997, 7998, and 7927 are hereby approved on third and final reading. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move for the consideration on third and final reading of House Bill numbers 8006. And for this purpose, may I request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill, thereafter to call the roll for nominal voting. So move, Mr. Speaker.
The Secretary General is directed to read the title of House Bill 8006 and then proceed to the calling of the roll for nominal voting.
House Bills 8006, an act converting the Kabugao School of Handicraft and Cottage Industries in the municipality of Bato, province of Catanduanes, into a technical education and skills development authority, supervised and administered school to be known as the Catanduanes Polytechnic Skills Development Institute and appropriating funds therefore. Roll call of members in consideration of House Bill 8006. Abante, Baya, Bellanosa, Abu, Big Saldivar, Abunda, Ako, Pacosta, Acosta, Alba, Jong, Advincula, Agabasa, Garao, Aglipay, Aguinaldo, Albano, Almario, Alonte, Alvarez Franz, Alvarez Sinaro, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amante Matba, Amatong Angara, Aragones, Arbizon, Arenas, Arroyo, Atienza, Aumentado, Babasa, Bagatsing, Balindong, Banyas Nograles, Barba, Barbers, Baronda, Bersaga, Bascug, Bautista, Bautista Bendigan, Belmonte, Benitez, Bernas, Biason, Billones, Biron, Bolilla, Bondok, Bordado, Bravo, Brosas, Bulot, Bustos, Kabatbat, Cabochan, Cabredo, Cagas, Calderon, Calixto, Caminero, Campos, Canama, Cawagdan, Cardema, Cari Castelo, Castro, Franz, Castro Fredinil, Cayetano, Alan Peter Compañero, Cayetano, Mariela Arni, Celeste, Chato, Chipeco, Chungalao, Angelica, Coalizalde, Coanco, Collantes, Crisologo, Cua, Quaresma, Cueva, Colyamat, Dagook, Dalipe, Dalog, Dasa, De Jesus, De Venecia, Defensor Lawrence, Defensor Michael, De Los Santos, De Loso Montalia, Demoporo Abdullah, Demoporo Muhammad Khalid, Duavi Duterte, Di Faustino, Ina, Di Faustino, Michael III, D. Ian Paul, Ebca Secleo, Ilago, Enverga, Erisa, Erigel, Ermita Buan, Escudero, Espina, Espina, Australia, Farinas Ria, Farinas Rudy Cesar, Fernandez Fernando, Ferrer Juliet, Fer Luis, Flores Fortun Fortuno, Frasco Puentebella, Gaite, Garbin, Garcia, Jose Enrique, Garcia, Pablo Jan, Garcia, Vincent, Garin, Janet, Garin, Sharon, Gasataya, Gatchalian, Gato, Heron, Go, Edgo, Mark, Gonzaga, Gonzales, Aurelio, Dong, Gonzales, Neptali, Gonzales, Sandro, Goroseta, Gico, Gullas, Guya, Haresco, Ataman, Hernandez, Herrera D. Hofer, Luso, Xavier Jimenez, Co, Elisa, Co, Wilton, Konghun, Labad, Labad, Lacson, Lacson, Noel, Lagman, Lagon, Lara, Sastin, Liachon, Legarda, Limlim, Kaychong, Lopez, Leo, Ladasotan, Makapagal, Arroyo, Maceda, Madrona, Malapitan, Mangawa, Magunadato, Marcoleta, Mariana Hernandez, Marino Marquez, Martinez, Matba, Matugas, Mendoza, Mercado, Momo, Natividad, Nagaño, Nava Nieto, Noel, Nograles, Jericho, Nograles, Juan Fidel, Nolasco, Nunez, Malanyaon, Waminal, Olivares, Ong Jose, Ong Ronnie, Ordanes, Ortega, Juan Edison, Pacquiao Alberto, Pacquiao Rogelio, Padjernas, Paduana, Palma, Pancho, Panotes, Peña, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Plaza, Puno, Kimbo, Radasa, Ramirez, Sato, Remulla, Revilla, Reyes, Rivera, Robes, Rodriguez, Roman Romero, Romualdez, Ferdinand, Romualdez, Yeda Marie, Romualdo, Romulo, Roque, Sakdalan, Sagarbaria, Sakaluran, Salcedo, Salimbangon, Sala Sanchez, Sancopan, Santos Recto, Sarmiento, Saulug, Savillano, Xiao Silver, Singson, Mihan, Sinsuat, Swan, Sing Estrelita, Swan, Sing Horacio, Suarez Aleta, Suarez David, Suntay, Si Alvarado, Taduran, Talyado, Tambunting, Tan Alisa, Tan Angelina, Tan Shamir, Tan Shari, Tan Sherni, Teada Teves Arnulfo, Teves Jose, Tianco Tolentino, Torres Gomez, Tulfo, Tupa, Shutorti, Alan T. Diego, Umali Alfonso, Maria Victoria, Unabia, Ungab, Uy Juliet, Uy Rolando, Valeriano, Valmayor, Vargas, Vargas Alfonso, Velasco, Veloso, Vergara, Villafuerte, Villanueva, Brother Eddie, Villanueva, Noel, Villar, Villaras, Suarez, Villarica, Violago, Yap, Eric, Yap, Victor, Yu, Zamora, Ronaldo, Zamora, Waikorat, Zarate, Zubiri. Second call for House Bill number 8006. Honorable members, Abante, Abaya, Acosta, Aglipay, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amatong, Aragones, Arbizon, Aumentado, Babaños, Nograles, Bersaga, Bautista, Bernos, Biron, Brosas, Bulot, Kabatbat, Canama, Cardema, Castro Franz, Chungalao, Co, Angelica, Co, Elizalde, Coanco, Culyamat, Dalipe, Defensor Michael De Los Santos, Duavit, Tuhali, Di Faustino, Ina, Di Ian Paul, Ebcas, Ermita Buhain, Espino, Farinas, Rudy Cesar, Fernandez, Fernando, Flores, Garin Sharon, Gatchalian, Go, Ed Gonzaga, Gonzales Neptali, Gonzales Sandro, Gico, Guya Haresco, Herrera D, Javier, Co, Wilton, Konghun, Labad, Lagon, Liachon, Malapitan, Marcoleta, Marquez, Martinez, Mendoza Mercado, Nograles, Juan Fidel, Nolasco, Nunez Malanyaon, Jose Ordanes, Pacquiao Alberto, Panotes, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Romero, Sakdalan, Silverio, Singson, Sinsuat, Suarez Aleta, Si Alvarado, Tan Alisa, Tan Shari, Tan Sherni, Torres Gomez, Unabia, Uy Juliet, Vargas Alfonso, Veloso, Villafuerte, Villar, Villaras, Suarez, Villarica, Yap, Victor Yu, Zarate.
The result of the nominal voting, with 206 members voting in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and 0 abstention, House Bill number 8006 is hereby approved on third and final reading. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we direct the Secretary General to immediately transmit the bills earlier approved on third and final reading to the Senate. So move, Mr. Speaker.
the Secretary General is so directed. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we include additional co-authors to House Bill numbers 5680, 6149, 7660, 8040, 8041, 8057, 8077, 8080, 8081, and 8082 as contained in the list to be submitted by the Committee on Rules. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion to include as additional co-authors be approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we designate the following members to the Bicameral Conference Committee on the disagreeing provisions of House Bill number 6816 and Senate Bill number 1849, or the Financial Institutions Strategic Transfer Act. Representative Juni Kua, Representative John Reynald Tiangco, and Representative Stella Luz Kimbo. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
There's a motion. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the following representatives are designated as members to the Bicameral Conference Committee. Representative Judy Kua, Representative John Reynald Tiangco, and the Honorable Representative Stella Luz Kimbo. So approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, under the calendar of business for the day, I move that we consider House Bill 7956 as contained in Committee Report number 574 as submitted by the Committee on Food Security. May I request the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bills?
The Secretary General is so directed.
Seven nine five six.
House Bill 7956, an act reducing wastage by donating and recycling excess edible food.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Food Security, Honorable Caminero, for a sponsorship of the measure.
The Honorable Representative Caminero, Chairman on Food Security, is hereby recognized.
Okay. Mr. Speaker, klaro ba? Okay na ba ang audio ko?
We can hear you clear, Congressman Caminero.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Congratulations, my idol, Deputy Speaker Rufus Rodriguez.
Daghang salamat.
Mr. Speaker, my esteemed colleagues, in behalf of the Committee on Food Security, this representation would like to thank the Committee on Rules for including our proposed measure on food waste reduction into this agenda. I would just like to share a few words regarding the bill and its timeliness during this year of pandemic and natural disasters. If there is one lesson to be learned from the novel coronavirus pandemic and the damages caused by the recent typhoons, it is the fact that preparation for any calamity, disaster, emergency, or pandemic is the key to save many lives. As they say, time is the essence when responding to any emergency, particularly when access to distressed areas become impossible. With the imposition of quarantine in March 2020, access to basic necessities was limited because of travel restriction, closure of establishment, and work stoppage. Prohibition to go out, no means of public transport, no work means, no income, and therefore no money to buy food for the family. If local government units each had their own food reserve for any kind of emergency, then relief operation can immediately commence when emergency or calamities occur without having to wait for the national government or the private sector to help them out. The House Bill 7956 on food waste reduction establishes the linkages between local food businesses, food banks, and local government units to create a community-based food distribution system for the food insecure. Mandates the creation of a self-sufficiency program that will provide skills training in managing food banks and livelihood programs to avoid the dependence on donations solely and provide for the implementation of a national zero food waste campaign to raise awareness on the impact of food surplus and strategies to decrease wasted food at food-related businesses and at the household level. Locally operated food banks will not only cater to day-to-day needs of the food insecure individuals but can also serve as buffer stock in case of disasters or calamities. Food waste is prevented by donating edible food surplus and recycling inedible food to be used as fertilizer. The National Nutrition Council, with its governing board chaired by the Secretary of Health and composed of 10 government organizations, namely the Department of Health, the DE, the DILG, DepEd, DSWD, DTI, the DOLI, DOST, DBM, and NIDA, is in the best position to be the policy-making body for the implementation of our program. A similar measure was previously approved on third reading during the 17th Congress. I hope that during the 18th Congress, we will see its enactment so that we can begin to make the necessary changes in our emergency preparedness and response plan. Mr. Speaker, I appeal for the support for the approval of this bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, the distinguished, my good friend Willie Caminero of Cebu. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider the respective explanatory notes as the sponsorship of the said measure.
We move that the explanatory note and the sponsorship speech be considered by this body. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no member who wishes to interpolate on the said bills, I move that we terminate the period of interpolation and sponsorship.
It's been moved. Any objection? Hearing none, the period of interpellation debate on amendment is hereby approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments.
Period of amendments is hereby opened. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no member who wishes to propose amendments, I move that all committee amendments, I move that we close the period of amendments nor committee amendments.
It's been moved that there be a closure of the period of amendments. Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve on second reading House Bill number 7956, Committee Report 574. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill is passed on second reading. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, under the calendar of unfinished business, I move that we consider House Bill 852 as contained Committee Report number 566 submitted by the Committee on Labor Employment. May I request the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bills?
The Secretary General is so directed.
House Bill 852, an act regulating the practice of employers in posting notices of termination of employment of former employees in newspapers, social media, and other public information venues.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Labor and Employment, Honorable Representative Eric Pineda, be recognized to begin sponsorship of the measure.
The Honorable Chair Eric Pineda is hereby recognized.
Yeah. Mr. Speaker,
Yes, we hear you and please proceed. Chairman Pineda.
thank you. May I submit for plenary consideration, House Bill number 852, entitled An Act Regulating the Practice of Employers in Posting Notices of Termination of Employment of Former Employees in newspapers, social media, and other public information venues. I would like to give credit to its authors, Representatives Michael Edgar Aglipay, Joaquin Chipeco Jr., and Joy Maria Tambunting, for paying attention to this often overlooked but significant aspect of safeguarding the welfares of our workers. House Bill number 852 aims to protect all workers from abusive acts of employers in publishing notices of termination of employment, particularly in public information venues. The salient features are the following. It identifies the instances wherein the employers can post notices of termination of employment in public media, and it penalizes violations with a fine of not less than 10,000 pesos, but not more than 50,000 pesos without prejudice to the filing of criminal charges. Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues, House Bill number 852 is a refiled bill already approved during the 16th and 17th Congress. It is high time that we finally pass this measure this 18th Congress. In this light, we earnestly seek the approval of this bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Chairman Pineda. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no member who wishes to interpolate the chairperson of the Committee on Labor and Employment, I move that we close the period of the sponsorship and debate. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments.
The period of amendments is hereby open.
Mr. Speaker, there being no member who wishes to include amendments, individual amendments, nor committee amendments, I move that we close the period of amendment.
It's been moved that we close the period of amendments. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve for on second reading House Bill number 852, Committee Report number 566. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Go to second reading. Those who are in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against say nay. The ayes have it. It is approved on second reading. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, with leave of the House, I move that we open the period of privilege hour.
The period for privilege speech is hereby open. Majority Leader.
To avail of the privilege hour, I move that we recognize the Honorable Yusarvo Nieto of Manila. So move, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Chair of the Committee of Youth and Sports, the Honorable Yusarvo Nieto, is hereby recognized.
Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Speaker. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Ginoong Speaker, ako po ay magbibigay